Hi, this is Stephanie, and thanks so much for stopping by. Today we are going to be talking about simple and intentional living and a book that I've recently read that gave another different flavor or variety to this idea of simple intentional living, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I would share it with you. So the book I read is Lessons from Madame Chic, 20 Stylish Secrets I Learned While Living in Paris, and it's by Jennifer Scott. And Jennifer is a SoCal native who spent 6 months doing a study abroad in Paris, and that really opened her eyes to the way that Parisian women live and how vastly different that was from American women and what she was used to. And she wanted to share that with the world so that everyone can have a little bit of that Parisian mystique in their life. So I am a huge Francophile. I love all things French, and actually my mother's side of the family is very, very, very French. So I was just wanted to jump on board because I've always wanted to visit France, and I've always been kind of in love with the idea of living in Paris. My favorite movie is Sabrina, and what could a girl love more than a movie about someone who goes off to Paris and comes back all stylish and fabulous, leaving a trail of broken hearts behind her. And it just, I don't know, that seems like the best thing to me. Like, I want to go to Paris and come back with a wardrobe and a makeover. That just sounds like so much fun. So this book is broken down into a couple of different sections. So she decided to share her ideas thematically rather than more like a chronological memoir type book. But there are little stories and tidbits that are sprinkled throughout the book. There are, three sections in this book. There is a section about diet and exercise, a section about style and beauty, and then a section about how to live well. I was going to kind of talk about what I really enjoyed and what really spoke to me from the book, kind of going through the different sections. Now, this is not a minimalist book, but one of the things that really struck me about the lessons in this book was that the very intentionality of the way that Parisian women live, and how very different how that is from American women. And I thought that was really cool, and definitely just goes to show you that the American way is not the only way. So the first section, she talks about diet and exercise. The first chapter is called Snacking It's Not Chic, and I was like, I'm in trouble there. And it was really cool how she talked about how the family that she stayed with, she called them the Chic family, so Madame Chic, Monsieur Chic, they were not into snacking, and their kitchen was very inaccessible. It was not, like the open style kitchens that is very popular right now. And she talked about how, especially in her college days, she could graze all day and just snack. And I know for me that snacking is something that can be very difficult, and really all those little calories kind of add up during the day. One of the other things she talked about in that chapter was that it was okay to be hungry. I feel like in our American society, food is so easily accessible and also very cheap and ready-made. You can just go to the drive-thru and pick something up, that we really, our response to being hungry at all is to eat something. We don't like sitting there being uncomfortable and being hungry. However, oh, hi, bird. I'm pretty sure having a bird on your head is not chic either. But how it's okay to be hungry, and that's something that I've tried to tell myself. There's the saying that hunger is the best sauce. So definitely, less snacking. Also, on the other hand, talking about not depriving yourself. It's so easy to swing from one extreme to the other, to the other. And so either we overindulge ourselves and snack and eat whatever we want, or we go on these crazy crash diets where we eat just lettuce and celery and feel miserable until we die and eat an entire chocolate cake by ourselves. So I thought that was a really cool balance together and a different way to think about nutrition. I know how I have thought about nutrition and food has really changed since I have started being more intentional, and that was super awesome. And the other section talked about exercise and how it's really a very Parisian thing to incorporate exercise into your everyday life rather than to hit the gym. And I thought it was really cool that, you know, Paris is such a walkable city, and I think if you live in a walkable city or a walkable area, you should definitely take advantage of that during the times of the year, especially when the weather is nice, and just get that little extra exercise. Take the stairs. Those little exercises add up just as fast as all the little calories that you get from snacking. The second section of this book talks about beauty and style and how Parisian women approach that. He talks about the 10-item French wardrobe, which is like a super capsule wardrobe. I don't think I'm quite ready to only have 10 items of clothing in my wardrobe, but I really like the fact that she talked about how in Paris, closets are either non-existent or very small. You may have a wardrobe. I know that's much more common in Europe to either have a very tiny closet or have no closet at all. You have to have some kind of other piece of furniture to hold your clothing, as opposed to here in America, where we love our giant walk-in closets. Some of them are as big as bedrooms. And I'm a huge fan of capsule wardrobe, so I think that is really great. And also talking about makeup and how French women are more into the no makeup look, looking a little bit natural. And I definitely think that is something that is super sophisticated and elegant, to kind of have that no makeup look, or maybe to focus just on one feature, either wear like a bold red lipstick or maybe just wear a little bit of smoky eyeliner and just keep the rest of the look natural. And I think that is a great thing to do, to kind of have like a capsule makeup look where you can go to. Another thing which I thought was great about this book, she talked about having kind of a signature look and a signature scent, and just knowing yourself and being able to really express that through your clothing. I think with the kind of fast fashion industry and the 52 trends that we have a year, it's really easy to get caught up in what's the new latest and greatest thing, whether or not it's really flattering for your coloring or your body shape, or really even practical for your life. And I like the idea of coming up with kind of your own signature look from head to toe, and really living in that and being confident in knowing that every day when you wake up in the morning, you're going to come out looking and feeling like yourself, and looking and feeling great, and just kind of, you know, not even paying that much attention to the trendy things that are going on around you. The last section of the book is all about lifestyle and kind of encapsulating the Parisian life philosophy. Now, obviously not all Parisian people live exactly the same. She actually talks about two main influences in this book. Madame Chic, who's in the title, that's the lady of the house that she stayed with, and they were kind of more aristocratic and higher income and very sophisticated family. She also talked about Madame Bohème, who was more middle class, art-loving, fun-loving, bohemian woman who was the head of the household that a fellow student was staying with. So she got to experience the Parisian life through those two different lenses, and I thought that was really cool that there was more than one way, but how similar the two kind of life philosophies of these two women were, even though their economic background, the things that they enjoyed, their personal styles were very different. So one of the things that I really liked from this book was talking about how intentional that they are with the things that they do, the items they have in their home. Everything has a place, it has a purpose, even if that purpose is just to bring joy. And just this focus on really enjoying life and being in the moment. She talks about how at the Chic household that every night they would have a 3-course dinner. They would use the nice plates and the fancy wine glasses and really just sit down and have that time as a family to connect, enjoy the food, enjoy the company. You know, nobody was checking their phones. And, you know, while I don't think that everybody needs fancy china and wine glasses, the idea of using your best stuff and enjoying it and not just saving it for those quote-unquote special occasions was really awesome. And also just being really intentional about when you're eating with other people, or even when you're eating with yourself, enjoying the food and the company and that whole experience, and not just chowing down while you're scrolling Facebook or in the car between things. About trying to be really intentional about making that time to just kind of have relaxing, purposeful moments in your life. So that is my review of this book. Those are some of the things that spoke really a lot to me. I really enjoyed reading this book. I loved all of the funny stories that she told in here about kind of some of her faux pas as she learned to navigate Parisian society. And it was really fun and lighthearted. Now Jennifer does have a blog, and I know that she had, before she wrote the book, she had published a couple of articles on there about some of her experiences in Paris, and she decided to expand on it and make a whole book out of it. So if you kind of want to check out for yourself a little bit of what this book is going to be like, you can check out her blog, which is The Daily Connoisseur. And if you want to go ahead and get this book, you can probably find it at your local library. That's where I got mine. And maybe you can add a little bit of Parisian elegance and intentionalism into your life. So let me know, what are some of the intentional living things that you do in your life that are really, really meaningful, and share those down in the comments below, and let me know if you've done any of the things that I mentioned here in the review: capsule wardrobes, intentional eating times, having a signature style, a signature look, being purposeful about food. And I will see you guys later. Bye.